What's good, people? This is your boy Cincy, aka Mr. Good Vibes, and today I'm going to be showing you why I think the market is going to be falling further down. And again, and this is because for those of you who have been trading, you do understand that the market is currently dropping, the market is currently volatile, and there's a lot of fear. And you can see people are beginning to sell up their shares, and the VIX is also going high. The VIX is currently around 20. The Nasdaq has fallen quite a few points, as long as the SPX and the Dow Jones as well. And if you also look at the other sectors around the globe, just go to the chart so that way I don't blab too much. So like I was saying, this is the SPX. You can see we started dropping, rolling over from this high right here. And the same thing for Nasdaq as well. You can see we went as high as 19,909. You can see we are rolling over all the way to 18,800. And the same thing for Dow as well. You can see it's beginning to roll over. So if you look at other sectors like Japan, you can see that's the downward trend, and France as well. So what am I trying to say? I believe the market is going to fall further down, and that's my own bias. But again, right now, nobody knows what's going to happen. But if you take a look at my chart one more time, so let's look at Nasdaq, for example. So for those of you who have been following me, you know how I typically interpret stuff on the chart. So the first thing I look at is my primary indicators, which is always going to be my red arrow and my S sign, which indicates a sell signal. So that means the market is going to be dropping, or there's going to be a downward movement in the market for in the future. So that's what that signal is pretty much telling me. So once I get that confirmation, the next thing I want to look at is my baseline. So the baseline is like my moving average. So the moving average is what tells me if this particular index is ready. So I look at where the price is relative to the baseline. So if it's a sell, all we need to know is the price needs to be below the baseline. And if I was getting a buy, like in this instance, then the price needs to be trading above the baseline. So since I'm getting the price below the baseline, so that means I now have a confirmation along with my primary indicators telling me that, okay, this might be a good time to start maybe shorting the market. But that is not the only thing I'm looking at. I'm also looking at other things below the chart just to kind of like get this confirmation right. So I look at my secondary indicators, which are below, and these are my secondary indicators. So again, the first indicator here is my ATR, which is the average true range. I'm not going to say too much about that, but I typically use these to kind of like enter trades. So I believe there was a video that I posted a while back, that my last video, that shows you how I typically enter trades and set up my trades. So please look at that video to see how I use ATR for entry. But today I'm going to be focusing on the algorithm that is below it. So the first one is my DD index, what I call my zero line cross. So the first one is my the one line cross. So and the one line cross is very, very simple. So if I was to expand it, it's very, very simple. All you need to know is my signal line is the green line, and my zero line is the white line. So whenever the signal line is above the zero line, then that is a buy signal. Or whenever the signal line is below zero line, then that is a sell signal. So you can see the current signal is actually negative. So you can see it's actually below the zero line. So that is telling me that the current Nasdaq 100 is currently showing a sell signal, which also aligns with the primary indicator. So the next thing is I want to look at my other indicators. So I just don't want to use one, I want to use multiple indicators to kind of like see an alignment and an agreement in this interpretation. So the next thing, I'm looking at my two line cross. So you can see I have a green line and a red line. So all you need to understand here is with the two line cross, the green line should always be greater than the red line. So in this case, if you see that type of trend, then that is a buy. But if you see the red line ahead of the green line, then that is a sell. So you can see with the current status or the current state of this indicator, you can see the red line is actually ahead of the green line. So that is telling me that this is a sell. So now we've gotten two confirmations, and the last one is this indicator that you see here. So I'm getting a red triangle pointing down, and I'm also getting red colors from my bars. So this is telling me that this is also a sell signal. So once I do see that, I look at the fourth one, which is also a zero line cross. And if you expand it, you can see that if the signal line is ahead of the zero line, or if it's between this upper boundary and the mid level, then that is a buy. But if your signal line is between this mid level and the lower boundary, then that's more of a sell. So you can see the current status is actually between the mid and the lower level. So this is also a sell signal. So now I've also gotten 4 different signals along with my primary indicators telling me that the Nasdaq 100 is actually most likely going to be a sell. And the last one is my other 2-line cross. You can see again, it's very similar to the last one, which I explained. If the slow line and the fast line, which is the red and the green. So if the red is ahead of the green, then that is a sell. And if the green is ahead of the red, then that is a buy. You can see the current situation is actually red ahead of the green, then that is a sell. So we have a full indicators of sell signals telling me that the market is most likely going to drop for us. So you can, if I expand back and take a look at everything in one nutshell. So what you see here is that, you know, we're getting a sell signal, we're also getting a sell signal below. So now another thing you also notice is that if you were to zoom out, you will see it's almost like we have a top here, then we have another top here, right? So this, so you can see it's like we're seeing a lower highs. So there was one high right there, now it's one, and now we're seeing a lower one right there. So now I'm thinking, is this going to drop all the way down to maybe this support? Who knows? I don't know. Are we going to go way below this support? Because there's been a lot of anticipation that September is usually bad. But if we go back into time or into history, see what last September did. And I've actually marked it with this yellow line. So you can see this is last September 2023. And you can see that we have something almost similar. So it's like we had this peak here in July, and now we have this peak here around that beginning of September, which kind of like rolled over all the way. So you can see it rolled over, came back up again, and rolled over again. So it's almost like a forming lower highs and higher lows. And lower lows. So that is, so if you know, I mean, you guys can already see that trend right there. So I'm anticipating that this is most likely going to be the same trend. I don't know, but that is what I'm thinking. It's most likely going to be the same trend. Now, another reason why I think the market might also most likely drop is because of the VIX. So let's take a look at the VIX real quick. So you can see my VIX currently is also showing a buy signal and a green arrow to the upside. And another thing you'd also notice is if you look at the secondary indicators, is you're seeing my DD index is actually showing a buy signature, which is obviously above the 0 line. You can see that the 2-line cross is also showing the green ahead of the red. That's a buy signal. You can see I'm getting the green bars on this indicator, and you can also see on this one I'm seeing the signal between the upper and mid level, so that's a buy. And you can see that even today I'm also getting a confirmation around today that the green is also ahead of the red. So this is telling me this is also a buy. So it's telling me the buy signature is telling me that what that is telling me is that the VIX is most likely going to be shooting up pretty soon. You know, so and you guys know what happens when VIX goes up. When VIX goes up, then the market kind of drops. Not kind of, the market will drop. So I'm anticipating that the VIX might actually shoot all the way to this resistance here, 30, and who knows, maybe get all the way to this 60. That 60. Yeah, around that 65, 66 level, just like the last time. So again, guys, be careful out there, as you trade. The market is very volatile. Nobody knows what's going to happen. But again, if you have a signal, if you have an algorithm that you use, just kind of stick to it, see how it plays out. You just never know. This might be the big play. So for me, I'm kind of short in the market. So I'm going to be short in the market. So I'll see how that goes. And if it doesn't work out, that's fine. It's just another trade. Remember that, man. And again, this is your boy Cincy, aka Mr. Good Vibes. And let's make some small money together.